The early payout if your team lead by 2 soccer promotion from Bet365, or the 2-up offer as we like to call it, has the biggest potential payout of any bookmaker promotion in Australia. We've talked about early payout offers before, and we've got other video tutorials which show you how to lock in a profit using our early payout calculator. But the 2-up offer is special, and we've gone one step further to help you to profit from it. No other early payout offer comes close to 2-up in regards to the number of available games or the size of the potential payout. Most other offers have got a restriction on either the stake that you can bet or the size of the payout that they'll give you. For example, you might get an early payout offer on your first $250 of stake, no matter what the odds are, or you might get an early payout of up to $500 in winnings, no matter what the stake is. The number of applicable games for the promos will also be limited. If it's a rugby league promo, you're only going to get 8 games per week. For AFL, you're going to get 9. But when it comes to the 2-up offer, there are almost no restrictions. The potential payout is completely unlimited. You'll get the early payout whether your stake is $10 or $10,000, and the number of applicable games is also huge. Bet365 recently expanded the leagues and cups that count for 2-up. They've gone from 8 to 19. You can see them all here. So on an average weekend during the European soccer season, there can be over 80 applicable games. You can see here we've got loads and loads available coming up over the next couple of weeks. So all of that choice is great, but it does beg the question, how can you know which games are best for the promo? Now, the most profitable 2-up games are the ones where one team goes to ahead and triggers the early payout, and then the other team comes back to either win or draw, and that results in a double payout for us. But calculating the probability of that happening isn't easy to do. You're not going to find a market on Betfair or at any of the bookies which gives you odds on that happening. So, although it's difficult to do, there are some markets that can point us in the right direction, and they're what the 2-up software focuses on. So one thing that we know for sure is that we can't get a double payout from 2-up unless there are at least 4 goals in the game. So the software calculates the probability of there being over 4 goals. And the other thing that we know is that both teams need to score for us to get that double payout. A one-sided game where there's loads of goals but they're all scored by one team isn't going to help us. So we also have this probability here for both teams to score. The other 2 columns deal with the qualifying loss. This is the amount that you're going to lose if the promo doesn't trigger. Now, if you're playing for double payouts, 2-up is going to be a very high variance promo. That means that you're going to lose on a lot more of the games than you win on. So for that reason, it is important to keep your qualifying losses to a minimum. Now, you can reduce that variance by using the early payout calculator to lock in a profit, but to do that, you need to be online during the games, which isn't ideal if you're betting on the Euro leagues. So the other 2 columns in the software look at the qualifying loss. The first column displays it as a percentage of your stake. So if we look here, it says we've got 8.59. That means that you would lose $8.59 for every $100 that you bet at Bet365 if the promo doesn't trigger. So we want to keep that number to a minimum. However, the acceptable qualifying loss will vary depending on the size of the potential payout. So that's what we look at in this second column here. So if we find a couple of options here, you can see that these 2 payouts in the Borussia Dortmund versus PSG game are almost identical in the QL column, but because the potential payout is different, the QL over payout column looks a little bit different here, because if we hit the double payout on Dortmund, we're going to win about $280 for every $100 we bet at Bet365. But for PSG, we're only going to win $230 for every $100 that we bet. So that's why the QL over payout looks a little bit different, and that's something else that we have to take into consideration when we're deciding on whether to bet on a game or not. Now, every game is unique, so there's no correct combination of numbers on the table that's going to guarantee a big win. We're just trying to identify the games that have the best chance. And a good way to do that is to use the filters to eliminate the games that we definitely don't want to bet on. So I'm going to put in some filters now, and it will give us a short list that we can look at. You can choose what filters you want, but this is, what I'm putting in just now should be a rough guide for you. So here we go. Champions League is usually great for two up, and this PSG versus Dortmund game is looking like it's got real potential. There's a high expectation of goals for both teams. Um, high expectation of goals overall in the game, and very high expectation of both teams scoring. So that's great. The qualifying loss is a little bit high, and the qualifying loss over payout. It's better on Dortmund than it is on PSG, but it's not ideal at the moment. So hopefully those odds will improve, maybe later today or before the game, and we can get that number green as well. The other games that we've got here are kind of similar. We've got high expectations of both teams scoring, similar expectations of goals in the game. But again, the qualifying loss over payout is a little bit high just now. In part, that's because we've got strong favourites, so the payout isn't going to be that high on either of these ones. So you can look at these different numbers and make a decision as to whether you think it's going to be a good game for the two up offer or not. Ideally, we want to see green in all three of the right hand columns. And once you've identified a team that you want to back, you would do that at Bet365, and then you could lay them at Betfair using the lay stake from the standard match betting calculator. You can then either hope that the double payout triggers, or you can use the early payout calculator to log in a profit if your team goes two up. Both options have got lots of value, so this is a great promo to start getting involved in if you're not already. And if you've got any other questions about it, you can let us know and we'll help you out.